Why do you think that there's a concerted effort to get people to not go to Egypt? What do you think that's all about?
I call it CNN mentality, where what they want you to think is that the only place you're safe is on your own couch.
Yeah.
And now there's a worldwide travel alert that no American is supposed to go anywhere.
Right. Of course.
I mean, how is that realistic? Why?
Yeah.
I mean, do we call a spade a spade? I mean, isn't it all power and control?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that, like, I hear about Yemen. I haven't been there. Oh, it sounds dangerous. Well, I have no way of verifying that if I haven't been.
Mm-hmm.
And so I understand, like for Egypt, I know it. I can phone somebody up right now and, find out that everything's business as usual because I know it well and I know lots of people there. But with other countries that you haven't been to, it's enough to scare you into staying home.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think?
They want everybody home.
So what do you think it is about the pyramids? I mean, I understand what you're saying. I mean, in the Pyramid Code, that documentary, I have to say, if you're watching this and you have not seen that documentary, it's just one of the most amazing documentaries I've ever seen on the pyramid. It's so amazing. But it sounds to me like there would be a concerted effort to not allow or I guess kind of scare people away from going to Egypt, because the more people they have poking around there and learning and discovering new things, God knows what's going to come out. Do they know what they're hiding, or what do you think that's all about?
I appreciate your concern. It's all hidden in plain sight. And the thing is that many of us have been to Egypt and done a lot of exploring. I just came back from the Global Pyramid Conference in Chicago, which was just a brilliant event.
Uh-huh.
And, we're continuing to make discoveries about the pyramids, even if we don't go to Egypt. And ironically, Egypt came to us at that thing. They had a golden pyramid house that we went to visit outside of Chicago, half an hour outside. There were camel rides in the parking lot, and then they had a reception with Egyptian music and belly dancing and Egyptian food. So, and the first person that I ran into, I'd met in Egypt. So, we're still going to continue examining our pictures and looking theoretically at what's going on and working with data that we've already gotten. So it's too late. They can't completely hide it, but the dating system is wrong. We're taught to think that there's pyramids in Mexico, in Egypt. Okay, where else? Well, there's pyramids in like 20 countries. Dr. Sam Osmanagic of the Bosnian Pyramid Project, he was and I'm making a map, a world map now. I found 45 pyramids on Google Earth the other day in China.
45 just in China?
Well, they say there's 250, so I might need some help to find the rest of them, but they're in Mauritius, and they're in the Canary Islands, and they're in South Africa, and Antarctica, and Indonesia. I've just come back from Gunung Padang.
Uh-huh.
There's more than one pyramid in Java.
Uh-huh.
They're all over the world. And a lot of them are covered with earth and trees and vegetation, but that speaks to the idea that they're older than the last flood. So when the flood receded, the silt was on the pyramid, and then it grew things over the top. And so some of them have been excavated, and some of them are just hidden with little bits sticking out. Mm-hmm. And so that it already means we have to rewrite history. Mm-hmm. And mainstream doesn't want that. And so they keep repeating and repeating and repeating the propaganda that the pyramids were built in 2450 BC for the ego of the pharaoh, than their tombs. And even though they've never found a mummy, they still keep saying that they're tombs.
It's ridiculous, right? There's
built
never
by
been
slaves. They worshipped animals. They were obsessed with death. They didn't even have a word for death.
Yeah.
So, but that's not the only story in the world that we've been told that doesn't add up. And that's what these kinds of interviews are about, is how can we trust our own instincts and develop discernment so that we can tell the difference between propaganda and truth.